Every morning, millions of people open their eyes and feel exhausted before the day has even begun. They slept for 7 or 8 hours. They didn't stay out late. And yet their body feels heavy, their mind feels foggy, and their energy is already gone. Scientists have discovered something surprising behind this daily exhaustion, and it has almost nothing to do with how long you sleep. 2. The symptoms. For most people, this doesn't feel like an illness. Everyone feels it feels like life. You wake up and immediately feel drained. Your body feels slow. Your mind takes time to turn on. You reach for coffee before you even think about breakfast. Later in the day, there's often an afternoon crash, a wave of sleepiness, hunger, or irritability that feels almost impossible to resist. By evening, motivation disappears. And when it's finally time to sleep again, the body feels wired but tired. Many people assume this is stress, aging, or simply modern life. But researchers have found that chronic fatigue often begins much deeper, inside the way the body handles energy itself. 3. What is happening? Inside the body, every cell in your body runs on one primary fuel: glucose. Glucose comes from the food you eat and travels through your bloodstream to power your brain, muscles, and organs. To move glucose from the blood into the cells, your body releases a hormone called insulin. In a healthy system, insulin rises after meals, delivers energy where it is needed, and then returns to low levels. But scientists have found that for millions of people, this system no longer works smoothly. When insulin stays elevated too often, cells gradually become less responsive to it. This condition is known as insulin resistance. When this happens, glucose remains trapped in the blood instead of entering the cells efficiently. The bloodstream becomes full of fuel, but the cells themselves begin to feel starved. This creates a strange biological paradox. The body is surrounded by energy, but cannot access it. And when cells can't get the fuel they need, they send a powerful signal to the brain, a signal that feels like exhaustion. 4. Why this affects your sleep. Sleep is supposed to be the body's time for repair, restoration, and metabolic reset. But research shows that unstable blood sugar can quietly disrupt this process. When glucose levels drop or spike during the night, the body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals are designed to protect you from danger, but they also pull you out of deep sleep. Many people don't remember waking up, but their nervous system does. Studies suggest that people with blood sugar instability experience more micro-awakenings, tiny interruptions in sleep that reduce time spent in the deepest, most restorative stages. So even if someone sleeps for 8 hours, their body may never truly enter the state required to rebuild energy. They wake up tired because their nervous system never fully powered down. 5. What research shows. Scientists have been studying the connection between metabolism and fatigue for decades. Large population studies have found that people with insulin resistance or early blood sugar dysfunction report higher levels of daytime sleepiness, brain fog, and low motivation, even before any disease is diagnosed. Research also suggests that glucose swings can influence neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which regulate mood, alertness, and motivation. When these systems are disrupted, the brain experiences something similar to low fuel, even when the body has plenty of stored energy. This may explain why fatigue is often accompanied by cravings, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. It isn't weakness, it's chemistry. 6. Why this matters. Long-term chronic tiredness is not just uncomfortable. It is often the first visible sign that the body's energy system is under strain. When insulin remains elevated for years, it influences how fat is stored, how inflammation develops, and how hormones behave. Over time, this imbalance has been associated with weight gain, accelerated aging, and metabolic diseases. But before any of that appears, the body whispers. It whispers through morning exhaustion, through afternoon crashes, through that feeling that you are constantly running on empty. Fatigue is often the body's earliest warning signal. Researchers around the world are now studying how sleep, nutrition, light exposure, and timing influence blood sugar and energy regulation. Some studies suggest that circadian rhythms, the internal clock that tells your body when to be awake or asleep, play a powerful role in how glucose is processed. Other research points to the role of muscle tissue, gut bacteria, and even stress perception in regulating insulin sensitivity. What scientists are beginning to see is that energy is not just about calories. It's about timing, signaling, and biological communication. Your body is constantly negotiating how and when to release fuel. And when that conversation becomes confused, fatigue is often the result. 8. Why so many people feel this? Modern life creates a perfect storm. Artificial light delays melatonin. Late meals disrupt circadian rhythms. Highly processed foods cause sharp glucose spikes. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated. None of these are extreme on their own. But together, they slowly push the body into a state where energy becomes harder to access, even when plenty of fuel is available. This is why so many people feel tired, even when their lifestyle doesn't look unhealthy on the surface. The imbalance is invisible, but the exhaustion is not. Waking up tired is often treated as something to push through. More coffee, more willpower, more discipline. But research suggests it may be something else entirely. A biological signal that the body's energy system is quietly out of sync. And as scientists continue to uncover how blood sugar, sleep, and hormones interact, a new picture is emerging. Fatigue is not always a lack of sleep. Sometimes, it is a lack of cellular energy, hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be understood. And the more we learn about it, the more it changes how we see our own bodies.